Hey, is that folk music there you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Great. The show is Horse to Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today is the first place winner in the International Acoustic Music Award program
Yeah.
in instrumental music.
Yeah, but that was a couple of years ago, so I don't think we can use that anymore. That was 2008. We can still use it. What the heck?
It's still an award you won.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah.
And his name is Buzz Turner. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks, Ralph. Thanks a lot for inviting me down.
Our pleasure. So you started out in garage bands.
Yeah, we were talking, not the Apple version, the real ones. Young people that played in garages, in school, started playing surf music, if you remember that.
Sure.
and then moved up from there all through high school playing in bands and then into college. And somehow I'm still playing guitar. Love it.
When were you in high school?
Back when we had coal-fired electric guitars, remember those? You'd get up in the morning, you'd shovel the coal into the guitar, get it fired up, get it working good. In the late 60s, middle to late 60s.
So we're approximately the same age.
Yes, I would assume so. I'm 61.
62.
Oh, okay. We're just about the same age.
So what was the name of that first tune you played for
Oh,
us?
the first piece I played was entitled Jig for an Elderly Gent. And I wrote that on the morning of my 55th birthday. I was feeling indelibly old. I just thought 55 is not the new 30. And, you know, birthdays don't really bother me, but that one bothered me. So I thought if I could no longer dance a jig, perhaps I could write one. And there it
Well
is.
done.
Thank you.
And are you in an alternate tuning of some kind?
Yes, this guitar right now is in DADGAD. Usually when I do live work, I'll leave one guitar in DADGAD or a slight variant, and then another guitar in an open C or an open C6. The only occasionally I'll go into D for lap steel. That's about it.
What else would you like to give us?
Oh, I'd like to. While I'm in this capo position in this tuning, I'd like to play a slow one. It's called December Waltz. I'm sorry, December Air. This is not a waltz.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
So you went from garage bands.
To working as a solo back in the early 70s and played throughout the Northeast. Probably a lot of the same places you played over the years. And then decided I had to get a real job because it was terrible sleeping in the back of my Volkswagen. You know what it's like. And So I went into broadcast engineering and spent 30 years doing that. Well, actually 38 years doing that. And now I'm back to playing music full time, and I just love it, you know.
You were inspired by John Fahey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. When I first heard him, it changed everything for me. I mean, to that point, all I'd heard was what the AM radio gave me. And when I heard Fahey for the first time, I could get it. You know, I finally could understand the history, because I'd heard some early blues and stuff. But then when Fahey played it solo, it really made sense to me. So yeah, that set me on the course of playing by myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like Fahey.
Who doesn't? You know, it's funny. You can. When I came down here today, I had about a 2.5 hour, almost a 3 hour ride, and I put on a couple of Fahey things and just let it run. You know, the whole way down. It was really nice. It's just it's the kind of music that you can listen to kind of on the side. You know, as a musician, you're always like listening to something. It's not background, but you can kind of listen to it on the side, and then it draws you in. You know, and you remember hearing something that you hadn't heard in a while, and the feelings that you had the first time you heard it. So yeah, I think the world of him. I mean, along with a lot of other people, but I mean, he was the first guy that I really caught my attention.
He's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we still have Kotke, and then we've got all the. I really like the younger players, the guys that beat up their guitars. Andy McKee and certainly Preston Reed, who really took Michael Hedges' stuff and took it to another level. And then all the young players we have now that are like Khaki King and people like that looked at Preston Reed and now took that somewhere else. So it's nice. Yeah, we're really in a renaissance, I think, for guitar music, and certainly for American guitar manufacturing.
Cool. What else would you like to play for us?
Oh, let me see. Let me move a capo here, and also in Dadgad. This was a piece I wrote. I was out in the desert for 10 days, out in southern Nevada, and they had the Red Rock State Park. And every morning, I'd wake up and I'd see the sun coming up in the east, and it would illuminate the rocks. And so I started this song, and it took me about 10 days, and every day I got a little bit more of it. And it's called Red Rocks Morning.
we should let folks know how they can find out more information about your recordings and your schedule of appearances.
Sure. I have a website. It's buzzturner.com, 2 Z's, just like Buzz Lightyear. And on the site, we've got music samples, so you can listen to everything. You can purchase CDs if you want. I've got all the dates for live appearances, and I also have an email list you can sign up for, and so everything's there on the site.
Is there an interesting story to how you got the name Buzz?
No, it's not that interesting, but I'll tell it anyway. It was my grandmother. I was born Edward, and apparently when I was a small child, I made a buzzing sound. I try not to do that anymore. And she started calling me Buzz and Buzzy, and it stuck, and now I'm a grown man named Buzz. That's better than being Sue, I guess, but...
It's a cool name.
It's funny, it's one of those names that often when you get introduced, for some reason I get introduced as Bub, Boz, Bubby, Taylor, Buzz Taylor. I get all kinds of interesting introductions. Sorry.
I see you're getting ready for something. So
Well, I just, in case you hit me with something, I want to be ready to go.
Okay, I'm hitting you with something.
All right, okay. This piece is following a trip to the southernmost state of Mexico, the state of Chiapas, and it's called Afternoon in Chiapas.
All right. Pretty tune.
I'll just get this one ready. Warm this one up.
You said this is in what tuning now?
I'm sorry?
This is in what tuning now?
This is, well, this is a weird one. The guitar was tuned to C6, but then I'm using a partial capo that leaves the high E open. And this piece was interesting because I was, it's entitled Hold the Candle Steady. And I went out one night to hear Danu. Have you seen the band, Danu, the Irish band?
No.
The guitar player for Danu is Donald Clancy, and he's part of the Clancy family. And he used to play in Solus. And anyhow, I went to see me play with Danu, and what really impressed me was here they're playing traditional Irish songs, but he's putting in passing chords. So instead of playing going from a C to an A, he'd go to a C to a D minor, and then he'd go to a diminished chord, and then he'd go to the A. And after the show, I said to him, you know, I complimented him, and I said I really enjoyed the show. And then I said, is it proper, you know, to take these traditional Irish tunes and play modern chords in them, modern chord voicings? And he said, how'd it sound? I said, it sounded great. He said, there you go. So, so there you go. And so I had the courage then after that to go home and write this. So I took kind of a traditional kind of Celtic melody, and then what you'll hear in the throughout is all kinds of diminished and augmented chords.
All right.
So that's going to help.
All right. So you're based in Connecticut.
Yes. I live in western Connecticut, out in the middle of nowhere, which suits us fine. We're in an old farming community called Roxbury. And it's lovely. It's a town of just a little over 2,100 people.
Sounds like a nice small town.
It is. It really is, you know. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, and I like that kind of thing.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody knows everybody's business, I think. But it's kind of nice. It really is nice knowing your neighbors and stuff like that. And it's funny, the street we live on, twice a year we have street parties. And we have one at our house, and then down the street there's a fellow that has the summer one. And so the whole neighborhood, we just invite everybody on the street. About 16 houses on the street, so it's fun.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
What else have you got for us?
Well, we don't have a clock in here, do we? How are we doing for time?
About 5-6 minutes.
Okay, good.